Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Pedri, as it has been reported that the midfielder's entourage is upset with FC Barcelona following a fresh injury setback. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Pablo Torre, as it has been reported that Barca will loan out the youngster to a first division club next season. We are also going to be discussing more on that development. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel. If you're just coming across this channel for the very first time, you are very welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. According to a report from TV3, the entourage of Barcelona midfielder Pedri is upset and angry with the club after latest developments surrounding his injury. Earlier today, Barcelona were dealt a fresh injury blow as reports emerged claiming that Pedri will be out for 1 more month and will not be ready in time for the Copa del Rey semi-final second leg against Real Madrid. The 20-year-old midfield prodigy had sustained a thigh injury last month in the first leg of the UEFA Europa League knockout playoffs against Manchester United. Initially, it was reported that Pedri could be out for a month and would be back in time to face Real Madrid in La Liga on March 19. Things looked to be on track for the Spaniard, as well as he had slowly resumed training in the wake of the Clásico, and all looked set for him to be back in action. But last Friday, Pedri did not feel good when training and was eventually ruled out of the Real Madrid clash, which Barca won 2 goals to 1 on Sunday. However, the expectations was that Pedri would recover sufficiently during the international break and return in time for the next El Clasico. But that is no longer the case, as the former Las Palmas wonderkid will be out for another month. And this has not gone down too well with Pedri's entourage, who are upset with Barcelona. The midfielders can't believe that the club rushed his return so that he could feature in the La Liga Clásico this past weekend. In doing so, they only ended up slowing down his recovery and losing him for the Copa del Rey Clásico on April 5th. As for Barcelona, they have not set a specific date for Pedri's return due to the complicated nature of his injury and are proceeding with extreme caution. The 20-year-old had several fitness problems last season, as well as the club are aware that he is becoming prone to injuries and will thus look to reinforce their midfield until next summer. Pedri, of course, have been suffering an injury since the game against United at the Camp Nou, and this comes as a big blow for us. Yesterday, when reports came out that the midfielder has suffered another injury, a relapse, it came as a big blow because he was expected to return to action against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey semi-finals, and he will be a big miss. He will be a big miss, and it's really unfortunate. He had already started training. He had already started training with a group, and everything looked like things were coming back. Like Pedri and Dembele were all set, but I think Dembele will be okay after the international break. But Pedri, who have been so instrumental, who have been one of the key players for a long time, will be out again for another month. So it is not easy to take as a Barca faithful, but we just have to accept it and hoping that he recovers faster than expected. And reports now saying his representative are not happy with Barcelona, blaming them that they were trying to rush him fast, putting him in training before the El Clasico last Sunday just to ensure that he played. But unfortunately, he couldn't play that Clasico on Sunday because the medical staff did not see him fit enough to play the Clasico, and his representative are not too happy that Barca was, they were trying to rush him, and that also, according to them, it led to a relapse in his injury. So this comes as a big blow, no doubt about this, that Pedri will be out again, and it's going to be a big miss. Even though Frankesi, who have been doing so well, in the absence of Pedri, will continue doing that. And I think that Casey have also ensured that Pedri have not really been a big miss, because even without Pedri in the squad, we have been winning the games. We have not had any problem to win matches. And of course, that's the reason why when Xavi came in as manager of the club, he have always insisted about squad depth. Having a squad depth very important, at least, and we can see the importance of this. When we look at the squad prior to Xavi, we saw that there was no depth. And in case where Pedri is out, then that's all. I think the midfield will be very weakened. But now, when Frankisi steps in the boot of Pedri, we don't see any. There's the team still plays well, and we still win matches. We win the Clásicos without Pedri, right? And it's something great. So Pedri will be a big absence, no doubt about that. Then on to the next story of discussion. In a Barcelona midfield department brimming with quality, young Pablo Torre has been unable to find enough minutes for himself in his debut campaign with the club. Arriving from Racing Santander after a brilliant season in the Primera Division, the teenager was brought into the first team fold by Xavi, but considering that he is competing with the qualities of Pedri, Gavi, Frankie de Jong, and Frankesi, minutes have come very few and far between. With there being plans to sign Ilkay Gundogan next summer, things could get even more difficult for Pablo Torre, who has not shown much inclination to play for Barca Athletic this season. And according to Javi Miguel of AS, Barca thus have plans to send Torre out on loan for a first division for the next season. The 19-year-old has played just 7 times across all competitions for Barcelona this season, scoring and assisting 1 goal apiece. Beyond that, he also has featured twice for the reserve team under Rafa Marquez, registering 1 assist. The situation is far from ideal, considering that the Spaniard needs to be playing more regularly at this stage of his career in order to continue his development and progression. Hence, Barca will send him out on loan to a La Liga club so that the teenager's development does not stall and he can benefit from the experience and exposure of playing top-tier football on a more regular basis. Torre had several La Liga clubs wanting to loan him during January, so it is unlikely that the youngster will have no shortage of suitors come summer. Given how things are currently, a loan stint away could be the best course of action for all parties involved. It must be noted that the report makes it clear that Barca have no plans whatsoever to sell Torre at this point. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.